Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Beth, and today is Wednesday, May the 11th, which means it is time for What Are You Reading Wednesday? That is a time in the middle of the week for me to kind of catch you up on what I'm doing and ask you what you've been reading or writing this week. Now, let's just get that out of the way really quickly. I'm not writing anything. I should be. I want to be. I think about it. But then I sit down to write and just nothing really comes out. I get a couple of words and I'm done. So hopefully that will change soon, but until then, I'm having fun reading. I have just finished one book, so I will show you the book I am still reading, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of a review on the book that I finished this afternoon. The book I'm still reading is Fever City by Tim Baker. I spoke about this a little bit on Sunday's video, but this is a thriller noir set in 1960, 1964, and 2014. And it is about a missing boy, the JFK assassination, and a journalist trying to debunk some of the stories surrounding those two things and finding that they are not, in fact, just conspiracy theories. I've only read the first 30 pages, but it is very well written and really pulled me into the story, and I am looking forward to reading more. I also have a post up on my blog, which I will link down below, from Mr. Baker talking about this book and the writing of this book, which is very interesting. So I hope that you will check that out. Now, the book that I just finished reading this afternoon is one that our seventh graders have been reading during the last few weeks of school, and they have been coming up to me in droves just telling me that they're loving this book. Several of the boys said their moms thought they were sick because they asked them to go to the library or to the bookstore and pick them up copies of this book so they could read it outside of school and find out what was going to happen, because they just felt a need to know. And it wasn't an excitement because this isn't like an exciting adventure book. This is a really emotional book based on true stories that were researched by the author. And it's kind of a, not kind of, it's a very heart wrenching tale. And that is Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. For those of you who don't know about this book, it's been around BookTube a lot the last couple of years, but for those of you that don't know about this book, it is a 338 pages that was printed in 2011, and it is about Lithuanian refugees um, that were deported the Soviets. They deported Lithuanians, Latvians. The Baltic states were invaded by Joseph Stalin and his armies, and they were sent away. Ruta Sepetys, her father, was the son of a member of the Lithuanian army, and she has relatives that were taken from their homes and sent to Siberia. She spent 2 trips to Lithuania speaking to survivors of that deportation, to family members of those survivors, to doctors, psychiatrists, historians, etc., learning about this. And she created this story as a compilation, fictionalization of their trials and tribulations. And this is the story of 15-year-old Lena and her 11-year-old brother, Jonas, and their parents. And one night in June in Lithuania, the Soviets knocked on their door, told them to shove as much as they could into one suitcase apiece. They were thrown on a truck, put on a train, and taken to a work camp. They were on the train for weeks at a time. She lost her father. They don't know where he is. He was eventually found and then taken away from them again. And it's just a very emotional ride. And throughout the entire book, the people's as a whole are portrayed as being very hopeful and just kind of trudging through and trying to do things calmly and peacefully. And that's A, how Stalin kind of took over, and B, how they got their states back. This is a book that really shows us that there are large gaps in our history texts that need to be filled in. The Baltic states were finally able to get back their names and freedoms in 1991, and it is the May of 2016, and I'm just really learning about these things. In the back of her book, in the author's notes, she says, please research it. Tell someone these tiny nations have taught us that love is the most powerful army. And I really suggest that you read the book and that you research the information therein and that you tell someone. Our seventh graders are learning about this through reading the book, and I think you should too. So that is what I've got for you today. I have finished one emotional book. I'm working on a thriller, and I'm going to try to write at some point, possibly, hopefully, maybe. Yeah. And I will talk to you guys soon. If you have read either one of these, please leave me a comment down below telling me what your thoughts and feelings on them were. If you want me to do a more in-depth review of Between Shades of Grey, please let me know. And just tell me whatever you are reading, writing, or doing this week. I would love to hear from you. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.